Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm Bianca, I'm one of the bosses. This is Christiaan, and we're gonna talk all about breastfeeding.
Interesting topic today.
So just a disclaimer, this is our experiences and our opinions, and it might get a little bit TMI, so if you have little ears, just maybe censor it or listen it separately, because it's gonna go all there. So on the discussion points for today is some Q&A, and then we're gonna learn all about the husband's perspective on breastfeeding. So let's start off with question number 1. You ready?
Yes.
So number 1 is, does it hurt?
No, it does not hurt. I don't feel anything when she breastfeeds. Next question.
Okay, so yes and no. It does hurt in the beginning while your body gets used to it, and it does hurt once they get teeth, but then again your body gets used to it. And then I find that once they get older and they start sucking a lot harder, it does hurt again. But again, you get used to it, and just to make sure the latch is right, and then everything's fine. It hurts for like 3 days and then you're over it. Sometimes much longer. Watch the previous video where I explained the whole experience of how it started. So make sure you do that. Question number 2. Do you pump? So I've been getting this question a lot. So did I ever pump? How did I do it? So I had a little breastfeeding pump, which absolutely sucked. Like, you had to hold it, and it took, like, you would sit 20 minutes on one side and
it made a massive noise as well.
Very loud.
Could not hear anything else.
You couldn't even watch TV while pumping because you can't hear. So I switched over to the silicone suction pump, which is like the haka, like I showed you again in the previous video. So I just use that when she breastfeeds on one side, I put it on the other, and vice versa. And then if I need to pump out because I'm not with her or something, I would just later at night, probably after 9 most of the time, I would put it on, just press a little bit until the milk started flowing, and then it would go on its own. And that is how I did it, and it worked wonderfully. I'm not doing it anymore though. There's not enough milk left. She drinks too much. Moving on to question number 3 was, how is your emotions and your hormones affected? I'm just gonna say a lot. If you think you're emotional in pregnancy, that's nothing. When you breastfeed, it's just sky high. You hear another baby cry, you want to cry. You hear another baby cry, you start lactating. You just see a cute advert, then you start crying. Like, you think of something or dream something, you start crying. Like I told you guys in one of my vlogs, I watched a chiropractor, like, just pressing in, and I started crying because they were so happy their pain was gone. So stupid. The emotions is just next level, and I'd say the hormones are definitely out of balance until I think you're done breastfeeding. Like, it's just everywhere. You still get cravings, you still get hormonal, you still get the acne and the everything, so it's all over the place.
Sure. Sounds odd.
Yes. Thank you.
Well done.
Question number 4. Touching. So I got the question of touching a lot. Like, it's basically comes down to you start feeling touched out is the phrase. So, like, I never thought I would feel that ever in my life. I'm a very touchy person, but since breastfeeding, you just get touched out. You don't want to be touched, you don't want to hug people, you just feel touched out because everyone's clinging on you all the time, and you just get touched out sometimes. And it's a reality, and you just gotta deal with it. So that's no advice.
Yeah.
I don't have any advice for you, but that just happens. Then question number 5 was, what do you do if you do not have enough milk? So my go-to was, first of all, always put on the silicone pump, even if nothing comes out, because that suction while she's drinking on the other side really lets the breast and the brain know, oh, there's not enough milk, I need to make more. And then like in a day or two, the milk starts coming in more. You can use the jungle juice recipe, you can use oats and blueberries, you can use obviously a very healthy diet. You can use the, what do you call it?
Milk stout beer.
Yes, that's my secret. Like whenever nothing works, you just drink a milk stout, and it's just, there's milk everywhere. Like that thing's wonderful. It's magic. And the other thing people use is the brewer's yeast milk. I don't know what you call it, but there's like a
The double malt.
power thing. No, it's powder that you get at the pharmacy. But yes, you can use that. That's what I do. I use the pump mostly. I eat oats and I drink milk stout. That's my go-tos. I really like that. I have a berry elixir too, but I don't really use it for milk. I use it for energy, but it's the same thing you put in the jungle juice. Next question. What do you use your milk for? Because I know you guys heard me talk a lot about using milk, breast milk, for certain things that I've done in my vlogs, but you want a list of what I use it for. So you can use it for any ouchie, literally any ouchie. Scratches,
insect bites.
yes, anything like that. You can use it for babies' eyes, nose. I don't know about ears. I've never done ears. But you can use it for as nose drops and as eye drops. You can use it for stretch marks, to lighten your stretch marks. Really wonderful. And it's wonderful for acne. It works really great for acne. So that's what I use milk, my extra milk, for most of the time. What's also good is just like storing milk, especially for when your child was sick, that breast milk, storing it for later when you see those symptoms popping up again, like runny nose or something, then give them from the earlier milk, because that milk's more nutritious, and then they get the antibodies. There you go.
Or you can bath in it as well.
Yes, it's really good for your skin. I've done that a few times.
I know. And also the
It works for sunburn as well.
sunburn, yes.
It's the, what is the word? The miracle fluid. Something like that. Golden syrup. I don't know. There's a word. Anyway, next question. Did you feed both sides? I hear people ask that a lot. Yes, I did. Not from the start. In the start, she never fed both sides in one sitting, so I had to take notes down, because you get mom brain, you forget, you think you're gonna remember because you can feel it, but you don't. So write it down, which side she drank last, so that the next time I sat down, no, Luna, she would drink from the other side. So that's what I did. She only started drinking on both sides, I think, after one. I don't know. For a long time she didn't, but now she does. Now she's just popping around as she wants. Left, right.
Not lying still at all.
No, bum in the air, feet kicking, that hurts when her feet kicks. Ugh, hate it. But she's not lying still anymore. That was blissful when she did that. Okay, next question. Number 8. When will you stop breastfeeding? And the answer is when she's ready to stop. As easy as that. Okay, moving on. Number 9.
Okay.
I get the question so much. Does your spouse like the taste of the milk?
I think it depends on each person, but I preferably do not like the taste as much. It does not taste the same always. It does taste different.
It depends on what the mom eats. What you eat influences the taste.
But no, it's not. I won't ask for it in my coffee in the morning. If that's.
But is it gross?
It's not gross, no. No.
I tasted it, and to me, but that was in the beginning. I don't think it's the same anymore. But to me, it was like milk with a lot of sugar and a lot of water, with like a bad aftertaste.
Kind of watery.
That's how it tasted to me. I didn't like it at all.
No, me not.
Clearly.
Me either.
Okay, then next, where am I? Number 10. What if you get turned on? Now, that's a question nobody wants to speak about, but people ask it. So what if you get turned on when baby drinks? Do you get turned on when baby drinks? So I think for me, I'd say you can get turned on if you were kind of already there. I can put it like that. If you're already thinking of that or already feeling turned on and baby starts drinking, sometimes you do get turned on. But then you just focus and then you can get it away. It's not the end of the world. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. It happens. It's a feeling. It's a sensation. Your brain gets mixed signals. So don't stress about it. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Then biting. What to do about biting? So since
Luna.
Cat wants to play piano. Since the beginning, if she bite me, I flicked her on her mouth. I didn't hurt her. I just like flicked her so she would realize. And then I would say, no biting, just sucking. And now she doesn't bite me. If she's paying, sometimes she wants to bite. But then I just like, no, then we're done. All done. And then she stops. Okay, then again, I had the question, what does it taste like? I already answered that.
Very nice.
Then the next question is leakage. What do you do about leakage? So like I told you guys in the previous video too, I had the breast shells where you can catch leakage. I did not myself have a lot of leakage or for a long time. I think I balanced out pretty fast around week 6 or 7. But at night I would just sleep on, like put a towel in the bed. I did that. Every now and again I feel like, oh, it's wet, but it's fine. Like you just wipe it off and then it's done. I don't really get leakage anymore. Mm-hmm. So the shells really worked. You just look very plumptious. But it works. That was my go-to. I never used nursing pads because they shake. They suck. And they smell. They just suck. Last question. Do you see a difference when you breastfeed, like in the baby? So everyone always speaks about the bond that you form with the baby. So for that, I'd say like I don't really know how it is to not breastfeed, so I can't really compare the bond to anything, but I can tell you that it's a good crutch. Like if she's sick or if she's feeling off, it's a good crutch to have that to soothe. Or if they don't want to sleep, you just let them suck until they sleep. It's a good crutch to have. Easy. It's helpful. But I see a difference in the fact that she's healthier than her friends. She's, I don't know. Do you see a difference?
I don't know. Not so sure.
It's difficult. She is very healthier, but that could also be... What's she eating? That could also be because she's homeschooling, so that could also obviously have an influence, but she does get in touch with other kids weekly, so she doesn't get sick. She hasn't had flu or anything like that.
She's sick now.
But it's, yeah, and she has tonsillitis. But that's, like, there's no antibodies for tonsillitis. That I know of.
Antibiotica.
Yeah, so I'd say her health is better. Much better.
Yes.
Developmentally, I couldn't tell you. She's homeschooling, she's much different, like completely different on a developmental level than the rest. So I don't know if breastfeeding has an impact there.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Do you have any other questions that you get asked? that you can think of? That's
No,
all
think
the
you
questions I
covered all of
got.
them, yes.
If you have more questions, leave them in the comments. Moving on. Husband's point of view. Breastfeeding. What can you tell us?
Nothing.
Nah. How? I don't want to ask you questions.
Why
It's
not?
not an interview.
Ask me questions and I'll answer.
How did you experience it? Does it, I don't know. Does it bother you? What's different? What?
I don't know.
Now I know.
So, in the beginning when you were breastfeeding and were in public, that's always a hassle. Covering up and...
Because she would always pull down the breastfeeding cover. So he would have to stand and hold something because
Yeah.
she just didn't want to be hidden in there. I remember that.
Yeah, that was also always a hassle, but we moved past that, so it's not too bad, and it wasn't for too long. And just like you said, you are touched out sometimes, so I can't touch you. And then you don't like it, and then it's a problem, and then I'm somewhat over it.
That is a big problem, like having to navigate that intimacy type thing, like how to work around it if that's something that you did like and then now you don't, and how to work around it. And sometimes it's nice and sometimes it's awful.
Yes.
Like, you don't know until you try. And you're just like, look, let's stop.
And sometimes now, on the age where she's now, when you're not at home while she needs to breastfeed, then we don't breastfeed her. And
She doesn't take a bottle. There's no way. She did take bottle from him from 6 weeks. You gave her bottle once a day of pumped milk. And yeah, we just stopped doing that.
Yeah.
We dropped feeds as we went along with weaning. So if I'm not home, she doesn't get milk. She drinks a little bit of cow milk if she asks for.
Yes, and she's fine with that, and that's how it is now. But she still wants to breastfeed every night, and sometimes in the morning.
Yeah. So, how did you experience the hormones and everything?
I don't know, it just kept as it came, and I dealt with it. Nothing too abnormal.
Oh, really?
Just hormones. You have to know them by now.
You have to know them by now,
Yes,
yes.
so it's not too difficult. Just deal with it as it is at that moment. Maybe you must just remind yourself that she has a lot
Out
of
of
hormones,
control.
and they are put out of control. So
Like, no woman has control over the hormones. Like, you don't. It's,
help her, or if she's struggling with something, just help them and be there for them. Just bring them water or something like that.
burp the baby.
Yes.
Carry things around. All of that type of things. Yeah.
It's not always just the mother's job to do everything for the child. It's the father's job to also help the mother when she's feeling overwhelmed. And jobs that I can't do, that she needs to do, then I help her with that job.
But you need to delegate too. Like, you need to communicate and say, this is what I want and this is what I need. Because nobody's gonna know if you don't say it.
If you sit down and you breastfeed, you want water, or you ask for water, then I'll get you a glass of water, and that's how it works.
Yes.
But yeah.
How do you think it's different from formula?
I don't know.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, it is cheaper for sure.
I wouldn't say it's free, because that's a lie. You still need like something to pump with. If you need to pump storage bags, you need stuff like nipple cream, and
Yeah, it's not free.
It's not free, but it's definitely cheaper.
Formula is quite expensive.
It's less work.
Yes, and less work for me.
It's difficult to navigate though when I'm not around and she wants milk. Like now it's easy, I'd say, but earlier it was a struggle.
But you get through that as well. I mean, it's phases that she grows up or the child grows up. It's just a phase, and then after that it's different again.
So do you have any sexual advice?
Advice.
Yeah, if you can't do...
Stay away from the boobs if they are touched out. Easy as that. Otherwise it's not going to work.
Easy as that?
Yes.
Yes, so how did you feel like when I got to spend a lot of time with her and you had to sit and watch basically?
No, it's alright. It's just boring just to sit and watch and wait. Basically, that's all. That's why I don't want to be in the room always just sitting and watching and waiting, or just doing nothing there.
But Laura calls you and she looks for you and then he has to sit there and do nothing.
No, that's boring.
But I get bored too. Because I'm just like sitting there.
It's true, yeah. So you can't really do anything, and playing on your phone is not really
an option.
A good, you know.
She's playing, sorry. Cats play.
A good way of dealing with the time while you are busy with the baby.
Come say hi, Luna.
She's
Say
just
hi,
coming back.
Luna. Hi, Luna.
So yeah, that's. But also, like I said, it's a phase in that passes as well.
It's worth it.
Yes.
I'd say it's definitely
Try
worth
spending time with them as much as you can while they are still with you, or wants to be with you.
That's a good way of thinking of it.
Yes. Well, that's all from my side.
Clearly, he's a man of many, many words.
Yes, as always.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time, and thanks for growing with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Say bye. Bye. Bye.